Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is, or whatever time it is that you're watching this. If you haven't been here before, my name's Georgia. I'm an artist and I run the small business Lady Lunchnet. And I make these videos about cool little mysteries, well not little, but big mysteries and true crime and stuff like that while I paint with you. It's not the most original idea, but it's fun and it's different. So if you're wondering why I haven't been around so much on my social medias, it's because I'm moving house. You can probably tell because the audio is probably slightly different. But yeah, I've been moving and I've been incredibly busy. And we're not like moving, but my boyfriend's moving in with me. So it's been a huge, trying to reorganize the entire house and adjust to that. And it's been fun, but I haven't been able to actually draw or record anything, and I haven't been able to do any kind of posting or work or drawing or anything. So I'm taking the morning while he's at work to record this for you, and because I'm so busy, I won't be doing like a big story continuing on from my Mothman video. It's sort of in the same vein as Mothman, but it's a more short, concise story instead of me rambling on for an hour about wormholes and conspiracy theories and stuff. So anyway, as the title suggests, today I will be talking about the Flatwoods Monster, which is another West Virginia cryptid from 1952. Now, the Flatwoods Monster also goes by a couple of other names. It goes by the Braxton County Monster or the Phantom of Flatwoods. It was spotted in September of 1952, and the monster is often it's depicted in a million different ways, but the one that you see most frequently is something like kind of akin to a Dalek from Doctor Who, but it has this bright green sort of dress-like thing, a weirdly oblong head, bright red eyes, and a leaf-shaped plume. So, story goes, at 7:15 p.m, September 12, 1952, Fred and Edward May, with their friend Tommy Hire, saw a bright flash of light crashing into a local farm. They went home to get help, and their mother, along with two more boys and a National Guardsman, accompanied the trio to the property to investigate what they saw. As they moved through the forested area around the property, one of the children said they saw a pulsing, flashing red light, and when a flashlight was then aimed over this flashing red light, they all got a glimpse of a, quote, man-like figure with a round red face and pointed head. They also claimed to have passed through and smelt a pungent mist, which made them all incredibly nauseous and ill. Local authorities that night were also spending their time investigating reports of a crashed aircraft in the area, and when journalists and investigators later went there, they found skid marks and an odd gum-like deposit, which was a gold mine for UFO enthusiasts at the time, attributing this whole thing to a classic flying saucer crash or saucer landing, whatever it is. A lot of people just went bonkers to this. Like, the story went viral, like, for the time. Obviously it didn't go viral because it was 1952, but for the time it went viral. It went across the country in newspapers and radio shows, and it became the #1 story of the entire year. And the family were, from that point on, were pretty much flooded with interviews and reporters for quite a while afterwards. The Flatwoods Monster then became local legend with, they have landmarks across Braxton County in the form of, chairs in the shape of the Flatwoods Monster, with the red head and the green dress, which is kind of fun. I think there's about 5 of them. And he's also celebrated in the annual Flatwoods Festival, And there's also a museum dedicated to him in Sutton, West Virginia. Now, I know that this whole sort of show series that I'm doing is supposed to be about cryptids and monsters and true crime and stuff that can't be explained and stuff like that. This is unfortunately where the mystery of the Flatwoods Monster ends, because in 2002 or 2000, I think it was fairly recent. I mean, I was only 3, but it was still recent in the grand scheme of things. Another investigation was done, and the Committee of Skeptical Inquiry, that sounds like a fun committee to be on, concluded that all of this was simply the result of a meteor crashing at the time and people's heightened anxiety. So I'm going to give you all the reasons why, and I totally believe this. I mean, I did from the start when I first heard all of it, and then when I did all my research into the Committee of Skeptical Inquiry, I'm like, yeah, well, duh. But anyway, obviously I'm not going to bash on other people's beliefs. If this is, if you're into this and you believe it and you want to believe in something, then obviously that's you can do that. But either way, I'm going to go into the reasons that the Committee of Skeptical Inquiry gave that this was all people's anxiety, and you can do with that as you will. So the night of the sighting, so September 12th, a meteor was actually observed across 3 different states of America. So this was wide news. The meteor crashing was wide news. And apparently from the area, around the general area that the sightings occurred, red flashing aircraft beacons were also visible, and they are said to account for the red pulsating light described in the original report. A local boy also said, he sort of admitted, I guess, that he'd been driving around in his old Chevy, desperately looking to see something, and UFOs are absolutely adamant to say, no, the skid marks and the oil-like substance were definitely UFO. They could not have been this guy driving around in his truck desperately looking to see stuff. So, we have an admission from the driver himself that it was him leaving these skid marks and oil. But, obviously that's up for interpretation. So, as well as this, the behaviour, the silhouettes, the shapes, the sounds reported that night were also closely sort of match that of a barn owl perched on a high branch. So, the foliage that was underneath it could have accounted for the appearance of the green skirt and foliage above it for the headdress. So this, coupled with basically the witnesses' varying testimonies on the appearance of claw-like hands. Some of them said, no, it didn't have hands. Some said it had long, spindly, branch-like arms. And as soon as you say it had spindly, branch-like arms, well, probably because they were branches, But basically, the varying testimonies of witnesses and all of the synchronicities that sort of tie this all together lead a lot of people to believe that there is a much more conventional explanation to the Flatwoods hysteria. And as I said, I can't tell people what to believe, because the Flatwoods Monster is a pretty fun idea. It's a pretty fun sort of thing to believe in, But there's a lot of evidence to suggest that it's not. Excuse me. That it's not real. So, anyway, as I said, this video was going to be a little more short and concise than usual. The next couple of videos, hopefully, fingers crossed, are going to be much longer. And a lot more interesting. I have one coming up that's not going to be in regards to like a mystery. It's just going to be me talking about the art and the process, because this piece is going to be in a gallery show soon. So, and I'm really proud of its outcome, so I'm just going to talk about it and my different techniques, because a lot of people have asked about my watercolor techniques, especially in this larger piece. But anyway, I am rambling again. So if you would like to see me do more conspiracy theory sort of things and more monsters, then let me know down in the comments. Also let me know your feelings towards the Flatwoods Monster, because it's a pretty fun story. I like it. It's very 1950s Pulp Fiction, if you ask me. And this piece today was one of my Pokemon portraits of my local sort of coffee making company, and they're good friends of mine. I love them a lot. They are very sweet to me, and they bring me coffee, and I like them. So I did this for their 5th anniversary celebration that they had. But yeah, so I should be back to normal soon, and I should be able to post a lot more. But let me know your feelings and how you're going, because I do read them all and I do respond to as many as I can, and I will see you next fortnight.